Tennis, perhaps like no other sport, has an ability to infiltrate the fashion world. Top players are regulars at high society parties and fashion weeks, while Roger Federer's friendship with Vogue editor Anna Wintour is well known. René Lacoste, the great interwar French star, gave his name to an eponymous clothing brand, now seen as often off the court as on it. Chris Evert's dropping of a diamond bracelet even led to the birth of the tennis bracelet. Somewhere between the business acumen of Lacoste and Evert's accidental coining of a phrase sit the story of Stan Smith. 50 years on from his last Grand Slam singles triumph, the American's face still embosses every pair of one of the most bought trainers or sneakers on the planet. Becoming synonymous with style was an unlikely fate for Smith. As a child, he was refused work as a ball boy at the Davis Cup for being too clumsy. After carving out a successful college tennis career, he spent much of his time as a professional with a balding head and moustache, some way from the pristine and well-coiffured looks of his current-day successors. Despite the lack of style, there was plenty of substance. Smith reached the summit of the world rankings for both singles and doubles, won 48 Open-era singles titles, including at the US Open in 1971 and Wimbledon in 1972, and picked up another 5 major wins as a doubles player. He deservedly entered the Tennis Hall of Fame in 1987. But if anything, his fame now comes less from his tennis and more from his association with Adidas. Prior to Smith's time, tennis players wore canvas shoes until 1963, when Adidas developed the Robert Haylett, a leather tennis shoe named for a then active French professional. When Haylett retired in 1971, Adidas were in need of another player to endorse the shoe. Smith's agent, Donald Dell, spotted a commercial opportunity in an era before such things were commonplace. He negotiated a deal whereby Smith's face would appear on the shoe's tongue. But because Adidas were initially reluctant to drop the Haylett brand, the Frenchman's name appeared alongside Smith's image. In 1978, 5 years into the agreement, the shoe was officially rebranded the Adidas Stan Smith. By 1988, about 22 million pairs had been sold, and a place in the Guinness Book of World Records now sits alongside Smith's achievements as a player. It would have been a most unlikely turn of events when Smith's star ascended in the early 1970s. It is remarkable to think that players who achieved more in their careers, such as Rod Laver, Bjorn Borg and Billie Jean King, all had footwear endorsements of their own, but their sales were dwarfed by the Stan Smith shoe. Estimates vary, but it is likely that between 40 and 60 million pairs have been shifted in the last 50 years. Unsurprisingly, technology has moved on in the last half-century, and just as the canvas shoes Smith wore at the start of his career were not fit for pro tennis in his heyday, the Stan Smith shoe is no longer appropriate for the professionals of today. That has not dented their popularity outside of the sport though. The Adidas Stan Smith 2 followed, with a thicker tongue without his face on it. His mugshot was back on the reissue, Stan Smith 80s, which remains a fashion favourite today. Some 135 different versions of the Stan Smith are available on the Adidas website, with link-ups in place for various different political causes and even the likes of Disney and the Muppets. The ultimate retro shoe has always stayed relevant. Figures from across the world of music and fashion have sported the Stan Smith, from designer Marc Jacobs to rock star David Bowie and rapper Pharrell Williams. The Stan Smith was even name-checked on the 2001 Jay-Z album, The Blueprint. A shoe originally designed for use while playing tennis has somehow reached every walk of life and made Smith himself a fashion icon, bringing him a level of brand identity he could hardly have anticipated when he first signed the deal all those decades ago. Reflecting on its success, Smith opined to Esquire, "It's very comfortable, it's very plain. They've added some bells and whistles over the years. You can wear it with almost anything, and it's a pretty good price point too. It gets better with time. Some people love to wear them worn, but also some people like to wear theirs crisp and clean." Smith was something of an accidental trailblazer in the realm of sport fashion crossover. Every top sportsperson these days needs endorsements from the top sportswear brands to supplement their income, boost their own profile, and open themselves up to other markets. Soccer players Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo are synonymous with Adidas and Nike respectively, and are two of the most bankable assets in the modern sporting world. But neither have their face or name attached to a top-selling shoe with significant cut-through beyond their sport, as Stan Smith did.